Hi, Paul Turley here. I'm going to give you a quick updated tour of the coronavirus COVID-19 daily updates report that I've built in collaboration with some of my peers and that I have available through my blog and through some other places. And I'm going to show you 3 different ways to get to the report. So the easiest way just to get to the report to see updated data is through my personal blog here. You can also get a copy of the dashboard report app through the Power BI app source, and I'll show that to you here momentarily. If you just go to my blog, you can see that the last post before the post that you're probably looking at was posted on March 24th, 2020, although the report is up to date. In each of the blog posts that I create, I will have a link to a web published copy of the report. So the 3 different things. 1, go look at the report, publish to the web. That's easy to do. 2, you can download a copy of the project from GitHub if you have the technical chops to do that and you're inclined to make your own enhancements to it or publish it yourself. Or 3, you can go to your Power BI tenant and you can install a copy of the app, the template app from AppSource. I'm just going to click here in this blog post, which will take you to a publicly accessible published copy of the report that's published out to the web. Now, when you look at it in this way, if you're familiar with Power BI, you don't have all of the page links over on the left side. You just see the page numbers down on the bottom. For that reason, if you click on the home icon right here, I actually have bookmark buttons that will take you to some selected pages, and that's a little easier to navigate rather than using the page numbers down here that don't really show you what these pages represent. But this is the summary page, which shows high-level information. These are global summaries. So let me just explain what these metrics mean. Confirmed cases are the total number of confirmed cases for a region according to the CDC or the WHO. Confirmed cases tend to keep going up. In other words, when people recover from infection, the confirmed cases, at least as of yet, as of April 7th when I'm recording this, are not going down. And because in some regions we have the number of recovered cases, non-recovered cases is just essentially the confirmed cases minus the recovered cases. So this is, in theory, a better indication of who in the world is infected by the virus today. And then we have some other metrics that are relatively self-explanatory. Note that active cases is not up to date as of this date for every region in the world, but confirmed cases and deaths are probably the most accurate number that we have, or at least the most consistent number that we have. In this map of the world, you can see that red is the highest and blue is the lowest, with green, yellow, and orange in the middle. On any page or visual within the report where you see a country name, a state or province, or a date, you have drill-through options that will show you more detail related to that item. So for example, if I were to right-click here on Canada, here in this world map, you can see that if I go to the drill-through options, I can drill through to the country-state profile to see the statistics by province within Canada. I'll do that. And then here you can see that we're displaying Canada. These numbers are related only to Canada. Here are the numbers by date. So there you can see the number of confirmed cases, non-confirmed or non-recovered, recovered, and deaths by date within Canada. And then we can see a breakdown of the top 10 provinces, in this case non-recovered cases, where again non-recovered means that it's the confirmed cases minus the recovered cases, and then deaths by state or province. You can always go back using the back button on each page. You can always go home, which will take you to this page, and then there are bookmark buttons, as I had mentioned earlier. Now, currently the United States is the only region that has county level detail, and let's say that I wanted to see a comparison of the confirmed cases by counties. I could right-click either here on the United States, or I can go down to the United States on any other visual. So let me do that just to show that I can. So if I right-click on the United States here and choose drill through, that would be the same thing as right-clicking on the map. Choose the country-state profile. Here I can see the statistics for the United States, and then the top 10 states by non-recovered cases and by deaths. Over on the right side, you actually see all of the states. So if we wanted to see the top list of non-recovered cases, you can see that right now New York has 131,000 cases. But let's say I wanted to break that down by county. So I could right-click on New York. And again, anywhere I see a state, I can do this. I can drill through to the U.S. state county profile. And then on this page, you can see that we're just looking at New York. There's the progression of cases in New York. And here are the top 10 counties. I need to change that title right there. For the non-recovered cases, this is a list of all of the counties in New York with a breakdown. Again, all of the counties in New York. You can always navigate back to where you were, and then we can go all the way back up. On this summary page, you can also see that I have bookmark links to take you to related pages. So for example, if we wanted to see case trends above this visual, click on case trends, and that'll take us to this related page that then shows us a more detailed breakdown by date for non-recovered cases, active cases, recovered, and deaths. Anywhere you see a slicer like this one, we can change the date range just by changing that slicer. We can narrow down. And then the last thing I'll show you are forecasts. Now, if I go home and choose trends and forecasts, use that bookmark button. Right now, we're just looking at global cases. So you can see that as of the last date that we have data, we've got about 1 million non-recovered cases. That's just a little less than the confirmed cases. And then I'm using a built-in exponential smoothing algorithm to perform a forecast. Now, this is a forecast based on available data. And so this is just math. This is yet to be played out to see if this is going to be reality. But we have a 30-day forecast with the median forecast right in the middle of that envelope. And then based on a 99% calculated accuracy, the upper level and the lower level of that 30-day forecast. Here, I'm taking that forecast out 120 days. Just know that we only have data from January 22nd. So based on January 22nd through April 6th, currently, this forecast is based on an exponential smoothing algorithm that draws that out 120 days for non-recovered cases, recovered cases, and for deaths. Now, we're anticipating this peak. We're anticipating that the virus is going to stop finding new hosts as people are practicing social distancing. And when that occurs, then these forecasts will be adjusted, and hopefully the outlook will be far less grim than we're seeing in these forecast numbers currently. So I just want to remind anybody looking at this that this is simply what the math tells us. It is not necessarily a reflection of reality. It's just based on the available data. You can use this country and state slicer over on the left side to select a particular country, and that's going to slice all of the visuals on this page to show the actuals and forecasts, in this case for Belgium. And then, of course, we have access to that slicer. So that's the publicly published version of the report. If you are a Power BI developer, and if you would like to enhance your own copy of this project, you are welcome to go to the GitHub repo that you can get to in this link right here, and you can download a copy of the current PBIX file and work on this yourself. You're also very welcome. In fact, I ask that if you are so inclined, add your own data, add your own measures and visuals, and publish your own copy up to the GitHub repo, and then post a comment and let me know, so that we can collaborate and we can share other ideas and expertise with people within the community. Finally, if you go to your Power BI tenant, you can install a recent copy of this project as a template app into your own Power BI tenant, and then you can create dashboard tiles and make enhancements, set refresh, etc. Let me show you how you do that. So if you go to Apps, click on Get Apps, look at Apps. So this is going to be all of the apps that are available, published by Microsoft partners to the App Store, and just search on COVID-19. You can see that there are some other projects out there. This is the one that I've published. Choose Get It Now, and that will install this Power BI app, including a dashboard, report, multiple pages, and a data set. Install that. That will install into your tenant. As soon as that's done, you're going to be prompted to confirm two different connections. So we go to the app, there it is right there. And you want to connect. There are two connections to this Johns Hopkins GitHub repo. We need to change the privacy level for both of these connections to public. Click Sign In, Public, and Sign In. You're using anonymous authentication, so you're not actually providing any credentials. You're simply saying, yes, I believe it's safe to connect to this resource. And with that, you can click on the link to the dashboard, or go back and choose the report. And then you can also go back to the workspace and then set up scheduled refresh and say, let's keep that up to date every day. By default, I had added 3 different times, but you can change the refresh times. Keep in mind that the data is only refreshed at the source once a day, typically toward the end of the day, Eastern Time, US. Thank you for watching.